How you guys doing? Hope you gonna have an awesome day today. First, if you're pretty cute, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe. Oh, you had to go ahead and push that bell for notifications also so you can get to scoop my newest upcoming videos. Alright, everybody, so I didn't think that I'd actually do this. Last night I was talking to my girlfriend and stuff. We were talking about the Vampire Diaries and Taylor Swift, and well, I do like the Vampire Diaries, and we were comparing the two with Twilight and stuff. We already know that the Vampire Diaries triumphed over Twilight. And then I was thinking of, you know what? The thing is that years upon years ago, I remember everyone in high school saying that, oh, I'm Team Edward, oh no, I'm Team Jacob and stuff. I was like, I don't know what team I'm in, because I didn't even watch the bloody movie at that time. A few years ago, I saw it. It was probably like, it's coming up on 10 years ago, and that is my girlfriend texting me right now. Oh yeah, we both saw it, so it was like the other night basically. And let's just say that it's boring, but the bad part for me to make these review videos is that whenever I actually watch a movie, that movie sticks inside my head. Like, I remember every single detail, every single character, every single line, what happens in what scenario and stuff. Only the parts where I need to actually know and it sticks inside my head. It's like, this movie was absolutely boring. Seriously, it was annoying and stuff, but I had to watch it and stuff. It's been years since I watched this movie. I thought it was a good movie, but no, it turns out that it was like really boring. I know this was the introduction of the whole Twilight saga and stuff, but I couldn't really stand it and stuff, but I had to watch it. I'd rather watch this movie than Indiana Jones 5. Indiana Jones 5, I'm sorry I have to say, but it sucks. And when I have a photographic memory of every single movie or TV show I watch, when I tell you guys it, Indiana Jones, when I was watching that, it stuck in my head. A lot of the action details, which sucked ass big time, it was terrible, stuck in my head. I can't erase it at all. But oh well, we're not going to be talking about Indiana Jones. I had to dig up the movies right here from Twilight, the whole saga. I have not, I guess it's been a long time since I found them. I have thousands upon thousands of movies in these shows. I have exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, I have about 4 shows that stack piles with movies, and it took me a while to find them, so we saw it last night, me and my girlfriend and stuff. So what happened is that inside this movie, Bella, she lives in Arizona, but she's actually moving in with her father, which lives in Forks. Forks is basically in Oregon. Oregon is the type of state that's always cold, always raining. It's like down below next to State Washington. I used to live in State Washington. It was always cold and raining and stuff. And well, let's just say Oregon is a little kind of worse than that. I'm sorry for people who live in Oregon, but it's kind of true. I've been there, and it's kind of like rainy and cold a lot. So let me get into his story. Bella's mother and her father, they're divorced, and her mother actually is married to a Major League Baseball player. Now they're moving out of Arizona. He's going on a trip. They're going on a road trip. They're trying to live in Jacksonville, find a place, because basically, I guess that's where his training spot's at as a Major League Baseball player. And so what happens is that Bella, she's going to be living with her father in Forks, like in Oregon, basically, because I guess she's going to live with him for like the summertime and stuff, but she has to go to school. She goes to school in Newbie. So once she goes to school, before she goes there, her father actually got her a truck. That's when we first met Jacob and his father. Jacob, he has like long hair and stuff, and let's just say that he's actually an engineer, and he helped build this truck for Bella and stuff. Now, as for Jacob, I guess you could say we didn't really experience seeing Jacob fully inside this movie and stuff. It only focused more on Bella and Edward. So she goes to school in this truck. I'm glad her father like fixed up the tires, gave her new tires because the truck looks terrible and stuff, like beat up. But hey, it's better than nothing. It's better than like taking a taxi cab because I'm pretty sure in 2008 there wasn't Uber or Lyft at that time. Yeah. So if I was Bella, I guess I would have to take the truck too to school and stuff. But she immediately makes like 5 new friends right away, like real fast, real easy and stuff. Uh, Two of them were boys, and they started flirting with her, of course, and stuff. And so they're at lunchtime, and what happened at lunchtime is that she asked like two of these girls, who are these people that are walking inside? They walked in 2 pairs. So one of her friends says, that's the Cullen family. Dr. Cullen is like this father slash matchmaker. He adopted these, I guess you could say, children of his. Now, Rosalie and Emmett, they're a couple. And also Alice and Jasper, they're a couple as well. And I guess her friends, they think that it's kind of weird that they're all a couple and they're living together, but still they're not related and stuff. But it's a weird situation, a weird dilemma. But understand what's going on. It's a Edward Cullen clan. It's a Cullen clan. But then when you know who walks through the doors, Bella says, "Who's this guy?" And they said, "That's Edward Cullen. Totally gorgeous." And let's just say that no one here is good enough for him. Edward walks by the table. He listens to it and smiles because obviously he's a vampire and he has good hearing and stuff. And so, once they go to biology class, the fan is on, and once Bella passes the fan, guess what? Edward gets a whiff of her smell and stuff, and he tries to cover up his nose and stuff. And Bella sits right next to him in biology class, and she's like, "Is it my hair that like stinks? Is there a problem with it and stuff?" He doesn't even talk throughout the whole, I guess, class session. And so after the class session, basically he runs to the office, the main office, and says that he wants to transfer classes. Bella walks right inside when he's trying to change classes, but the lady at the front desk says, "I'm sorry, but there are no new classes for you to like change at the moment." And so Bella was like, "Okay, I need to confront him the next day." He wasn't there next day. He wasn't there the next day at all. Not even the next day. And then when she finally saw him in biology class, it was raining outside. Seriously, it was raining. He was wearing just a t-shirt. Like, what the hell? Just a t-shirt and stuff. I think it was just weird and crazy though. Like, you should wear a hoodie, you should wear a jacket, or at least a long sleeve shirt. Like, damn, dude. Other than that, so she opens up to him when they're like doing this little project together and stuff. She says that her parents are like divorced and stuff, and how she's living with her father. That's the police chief of the town. His name's Charlie. And so there's been animal attack. Animal attacks meaning basically a vampire attacks a human. They always say that, oh no, it was actually animal attack. Basically, that's just like how it goes with all vampire attacks in all movies and TV shows. They blame it on a wild animal when it's not a wild animal, it's actually a vampire. Everyone doesn't know about that. So what happens that when they're walking down the hallway together, Edward, he's trying to tell her, "I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get to know you because it's kind of hard reading you," basically. And so basically Bella says, "Did you get contacts?" He said, "No." And she says, "Well, your eyes, before they were black, now they're like golden, they're like changed colors." He said, "Yes, the Florence," and then he walks away. And then she's standing right next to her car, and right across the parking lot, he's like, I'd say like probably like 200 feet away next to the rest of his family, his siblings or whatever. And there's a person in the van. It starts speeding up towards Bella, and it almost crushes Bella when she was standing next to her truck. But Edward comes in and stops the truck with his hand. I'm pretty sure everyone already knows that for the fact of the matter is. So he hops over her truck and runs away. and the Cullens, the rest of them, they're like, oh shit, we gotta get out of here right now before people like start, asking questions coming after us. And so Bella was listening to like some rock music. She was like confused. She was like, what happened? Stuff. She didn't understand. So she goes to the, I guess you could say, the emergency room, and that's where she meets Dr. Cullen, the father of the Cullen family, basically. And so she says that if it weren't for Edward there, I would be like crushed, basically. And so she walks in the hallway and she overhears Rosalie and Carlisle. Carlisle is the father, Dr. Cullen. Carlisle is talking, and Rosaline, they're telling Edward basically that, what were you thinking? What were you doing? This isn't just about you, this is just about us too, not just you. And then Bella said that, can we talk for a moment? And they talked, and he tried to say that it was a, I guess you could say, adrenaline rush. That's how he was able to get over there and stop the car. And he says that basically, can you just thank me and get over this? She says, thank you. He says, you're not going to let this go, are you? She says, nope. And he says, I hope you enjoyed this appointment. Once we go back at school with her, she's talking to her friends. One of her friends comes up to her, I guess his name's Mike, and he tries to ask her out to the dance, to the prom. She says, no, I'm sorry, but I gotta go to Jacksonville. Edward is standing probably like, I say like 75 feet away from them and stuff. And as soon as they're on their field trip walking through the plant house, Edward walks up right next to Bella and says, what's in Jacksonville? She says, how do you know about that? And he said, you didn't answer my question. Bella says, you don't answer my questions. You don't even say hi to me. And he says, hi. And then she says, what's in Jacksonville is Florence's. She's trying to be sarcastic because he's not being upfront with her. So other than that, so what else happened is that when she's walking to the bus, Edward comes up behind her and says, you know what, Bella, we shouldn't be friends and stuff. You know, the thing is that if you don't want to be friends with this girl, you really should like keep your distance and stay away from her. But he can't help himself. He needs to like be around her and stuff. He tries to stay away, but he can't stay away from her and stuff. He pushes her away, and then he goes slowly pushes her closely back to each other. And so when they finally, I guess you could say, arrive back at school, um, basically she's talked to him at lunch when she's trying to get some food and stuff, and she says, you know what, uh, we're going to we're having a little party. We're going to hang out. We're going to the La Push. La Push is a beach. She says we should like just hang out. Won't you come along and like talk, have some fun? And Edward says that, yeah, I can't go because it's a little crowded. And once she finally arrives at the Lush, the beach or whatever, she sees Jacob and his friends, and Jacob and his friends says that the Cullens don't come here. And then she ends up talking to Jacob alone on the beach, says that, what do you mean by the Cullens don't come here? And Jacob says, you caught that, huh? So what happened is that the quilt is Jacob's ancestor Trouble Clan. And he says that the Cullens have a history where, I guess it's like, their ancestors were like completely something else. They were hunting on our tribal land and stuff, and they weren't any ordinary people. So basically they made a deal. They said that you stay off our land and we'll keep your secret from the pale faces, meaning from, I guess you could say, regular people like travelers that will come here and to visit and stuff. You keep our distance. They're basically on a diet, that's what I could say. So eventually after that, Bella gets really curious. She wants to do some more research on the story of what happened. And so she actually does get more research. She tells her friends that I'll see you guys at dinner like maybe later on and stuff. After she leaves the bookstore, there are a few guys that try to hit on her, but Edward saves the day. And he basically takes her away and they go have dinner and stuff. That's when he nails it on her, meaning he says that I could read minds basically, and Bella's intrigued and stuff. And she says that, why can't you read mine? And he says that, I just said that I could read minds, and you think that you don't think I'm crazy? Basically, she's like, she believes him every single thing he says, but he's telling her like the facts, the truth of what he really is. Well, slowly he's breaking it down, and then when they're in the car, basically, she finds out that his skin is really pale cold. They arrive at the police station because Carlo's car is there, and also her father's car is there. It was another animal attack. One of her father's close friends died in the animal attack, basically. And so I guess you could say that the next day, basically, they're dating. Yeah, Bella and Edward are dating. They're like basically in love. She says that I fell in love with him. And I'm like, okay, so they're dating, they fell in love with each other and stuff. They're getting used to each other. And he invites her over to her house. Believe it or not, that he does not have a bed in his room. It's like only like a little lounge chair, and she sees that he has like a radio or a stereo. I was under assumption that it was gonna be like some rock music, maybe a little hip hop, but no, it was classical music like Wolfgang and Beethoven. And then he ends up showing her more of his powers, and he did explain to her with inside of the story of how like he turned into a vampire. That was back in, I believe, 1918. He was dying of a Spanish plague that was happening, and Carlo actually bit him, turned him, and he did the same thing to his wife and turned his wife into a vampire. That's how it all started with Edward and also Carlo's wife. That's how they turned into vampires. Now, Edward did say that he could read minds, he just can't read Bella's mind for some reason why. Alice, she could see the future. Jasper, he could control emotions. For Rosaline Emmett, I have no idea what their powers is. He didn't clarify any of it. I don't think Carlo has any powers, nor his wife. Other than that, so they were playing baseball. They invited Bella to play a little bit of baseball. That's when they found out that there are 3 rogue vampires that were responsible for the deaths of, like, I guess inside the small little town. So they played a little bit of baseball with her, but they end up sitting that Bella is actually a human. They want to try to kill Bella, but the Edwards protect her and stuff. And now Bella has to leave and flee, but one of the rogue vampires, I think his name was LaRoche. He was the one in the dreadlocks, and he says to the Cullen family that, yeah, one of my friends is after Bella, so I highly suggest you guys get her out of town, like, for good. And so they're hiding out at a hotel and stuff, and one of the rogue vampires, he draws Bella out back to Forks, her school and stuff. She gets bitten and she gets like hurt badly, and let's just say Edward and the rest of their family, they rip him apart, literally, that rogue vampire, and they burn him to ash. And Edward has a choice whether or not he should let Bella turn into a vampire, or suck the venom outside of Bella's arm. And so after that, Bella woke up inside the hospital, and their little story is that she fell down the stairs in the hotel and fell off a window. That was their little cover-up story, basically. And so it was prom night, and she went to prom with Edward, and she wants Edward to turn her into a vampire. So that's about it. Laura, that's my review video of this. How would I rate it? I'll give it a 5 out of 10 for the action. I gotta see New Moon next. I'll be watching New Moon probably like later on tonight or whatever. Who knows what's going to happen. I had some other review videos that I was planning on doing today, but guess I'm doing the Twilight Saga series review. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new, subscribe to the channel as always, and yes, of course, I'll see you all in the next one.